Oh my God. It got way worse. What an absolute war. These guys got in each other's face. And when Grod tried to get momentum, it was on Aswell getting forward, really leaning on the toughness in the third round to get forward. This is what this show is about, guys. This show is about guys that want to be here.
Are you eating popcorn? Did I hear popcorn in your mouth in between that? What was that a clip of? I don't even know the context of this. I think we're laughing at DC for doing commentary while eating a hot dog or something. Am I close?
It was good. It was popcorn. I had to shove it down into the corner of my mouth to try to continue there. I had popcorn. It's always the best seat in the house, so you gotta have popcorn.
Daniel.
I accidentally took a handful of popcorn right before they came at me for a replay. It was a nightmare. I cannot believe you.
Daniel, do you want to know how I guessed that? Why would I guess popcorn? Do you want to know why I guessed that? Because almost 2 years ago, you did an interview with Dana, and you said you took a picture of me and you sent it to Persari, and I heard about it from Zach. And Dana said, I got my commentator over there stuffing his mouth with popcorn. I took a shot in the dark. That's the first time I've heard that. That's what it's from. But here's my question. Is that from back then when Dana referenced it and we're pulling up old stuff, or did you get caught again? No. Why'd you do it again? Why can't you control yourself? You have to have popcorn.
What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Good Guy, Bad Guy. I'm Daniel Cormier. That is Chael Sonnen. Chael, you have to have popcorn because you're sitting in the best seat in the house. What I did not expect was the replay to come. It looked like we were going to the next thing, but hey, such is life. The boy got caught eating popcorn. And you said, why can't I control myself? Why do I need to control myself? I'm living my best life out here, CLP.
You know, and I heard you tell Dana this 2 years ago when he brought this up, but you are there for 6.5 hours. I mean, I don't expect the heavyweight champion to not get a little bit hungry. You did say something, though. I just like to go back to it real fast. You said you have to have popcorn. Now, you say I have to have popcorn as though the options are limited. Like if you were at home and you could have any snack, do you turn to popcorn?
I turn into popcorn every time.
Really?
I am. Hey, and it's a very dangerous deal because the popcorn can get stuck in my teeth as I go to interview. So I'm riding on a very, very dangerous wave. But
where would you get the popcorn though? Do you make it? You get the maker out. You sprinkle the butter and salt.
So at home, or you mean at
no? At home. At home.
Oh, at home, dude. I have a popcorn bar at home. I have the salt. I have the salts. I have the butter. I have it all. I even have a popcorn maker. So my kids will actually put the kernels inside the maker and it all falls down.
Sure.
We love popcorn in this house. It
smells good. But you would turn to homemade popcorn over a bag of Doritos, by example. I find that hard to believe, I must tell you. Have you ever had a Frito? Have you ever had a Cheeto-flavored Frito? For goodness sakes.
Oh, dude, I had one yesterday. And I cannot believe you brought that up. That is literally the greatest chip ever. I had never had it. I grabbed them in a convenience store the other day. It was amazing. Chael. But we got to get back. It's been a while. That's why we are so much engagement on popcorn and chips, because me and my boy have not seen each other. It felt like we got fired. I was very concerned as to why we had that much time off.
Daniel, I didn't know we did. I reported. I showed up to this seat, and that's where, and then I saw that you didn't know either. You were like, hey, is it off? Which they for sure told us we missed something. But we bring it up because, we've got a good enthusiasm. We missed the audience. We missed the team. But I did it too, man. I feel like we haven't seen each other in a while. By the way, what are you wearing? You know, you look very good in it, but I feel like, you didn't really dress up much here. What do you got?
No. I got, as you wear a white t-shirt, I got my hoodie on. I got my...
Well, it says 2015. Did you buy that in 2015? Did you date yourself?
That's when the company was started, Chael. That's like a thing now in clothing. You put the year that your company was established.
When I did my recruiting trip to BYU, where I ultimately signed Brigham Young, Mark Schultz was the head coach, or this was 1995, and he was wearing a shirt from 1984. How do I know that? Because it said Olympic Games, Los Angeles, 1984 on it. I remember thinking, he's not that into me because he didn't really dress up for this trip.
Well, I'm into you, Chael.
And there was snow everywhere, by the way. There was snow. He's got sunglasses on his head. He's wearing what they call Birkenstocks. There's open-toe kind of shoe that was popular back then, and shorts. And he looks at it, it's Mark Schultz. He's all muscled up. Yeah. And he looks over to me and he says, do you feel like people are staring at me? And I'm like, no. And he goes, sometimes I feel that way. Everyone was staring at him. Of course they're staring at you. You're wearing snowshoes, or not snowshoes, in the snow, and basically a tank top from '84. Everyone's looking at you, Coach.
It was actually crazy. But chill, I'm into you. I'm absolutely into you. But another thing I'm into, chill, is the Sphere. UFC 306, I think it is. UFC 306, yes. Dude, I tell you, so many numbers. It's hard for me to keep up to. But UFC 306 is next week.
Wait a minute, Daniel. I'm so sorry to interrupt you. You're talking about the pay-per-view next week that can be found at ESPN Plus PPV?
Yes,
oh, I've heard. I know that one. Okay, go ahead.
Noche UFC.
Yeah.
Honestly, one of the greatest nights that I've experienced in terms of watching as a fight fan. Just the energy in the arena. Last year on Mexican Independence Day was insane. This year, it's going to be bigger with the Sphere, with the fights that we have lined up. But when I think about the fight card, Chael, I was like, hey, first thing I want to ask Chael, as we're a week away, is what's that one thing? Because you know, on every pay-per-view or every big fight, there's always a thing that we look forward to. One storyline, one thing that dominates our thoughts as we get close. What is that one thing for you as we get ready for next week?
It's not the fight. This is going to be the greatest form of visual entertainment in production history. That is a quote from Dana White, from the world's most famous fight promoter. He has not told us that. He has not promised that. He told us and put tickets on sale before he even had his main event. He said, guys, that's not what this is about. This is a love letter to the Mexican audience.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have already spent an additional $16 million. The UFC, in all fairness, Daniel, is the greatest production of any fight company out there. This is going to bury anything Dana White's ever done, according to Dana. I really can't wait to see it. I fought at Madison Square Garden. I know that's a big thrill. I don't say it to brag. I didn't feel anything. I didn't even care, right? It's a hotel. It's a venue. The cage looks the same. I am feeling this. I am feeling the Sphere. When I was in Las Vegas, I saw it from a distance. They held a draft there. I didn't get to go in. I cannot wait until this happens, and I cannot wait to see what Dana's got in store, because he has stacked this against himself. Sorry.
Have you ever been inside of the Sphere at all?
No.
Me neither. Hey, and guess what? That is one thing I'm most excited about, Chael. Chael, I would like ESPN to keep a camera with you the first time you see it, because I'm definitely keeping a camera with me and Joe Rogan for the first time we go inside of that place, because I hear it is going to be something that we've never seen before, and it's going to be something that's worth documenting, because I know the reaction that you will give will be something as big or deserving of what we are told we are going to see inside of the Sphere. Chael, my suit, and I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about this, I got a photo of my suit that I am wearing, and it is beautiful. I mean, the lining of this thing, Chael, the lining of my suit is crazy. Look, we get suits for the pay-per-views, but when I tell you we're getting a suit for this pay-per-view, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. And I didn't even get to choose it. That's how big this is. My suit needs to fit the occasion. And the occasion is going to be that event in the Sphere next weekend, going to be absolutely off the charts. Now,
can you tell me one thing? Can I just get one thing on the suit? At one point, you had mentioned it might be an all-white suit, and I teased and said you're going to be the Black Boss Hog, and that went crazy on social media. Like, people really thought that was a funny line. Please tell me your suit is all white, please. I need this. I need this, DC, please.
Chael, I want it to be so angelic. Could you imagine me in a white suit? Boy, I look like an angel floating next to that. Because if the light hit me perfect, if the light would hit me perfect in a white suit next to that octagon, boy, I look like an angel out there, but it's not happening. They toned me down a little bit. Let me tell you my biggest one, though. Let me tell you my biggest. My biggest...
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you asked a question, and then I was supposed to return. Oh, wait. Hold on, DC. Let's just back up a minute. Hey, Daniel, what's your biggest thing you're looking forward to next week at the Sphere?
My biggest storyline. Okay, my number one storyline. For me, Chael, having the Mexican fighters on Mexican Independence Day asking people to show up to our event opposed to Canelo's event, saying that we are writing a love letter to the Mexican fans.
Yes.
What I am looking forward to is these Mexican athletes showing out. I'm looking forward to seeing the type of effort and how much they take that as their calling card. How do I represent my culture on this night that is supposed to be as big for us as anything we have ever seen. That's my anticipation. I want to see what with Brian Ortega, and I want to see what Diego Lopez looked like. I want to see what Alexa Grasso looks like. I want to see what they carry into that octagon, knowing that this is their night. Their night, right? It doesn't happen very often well, in boxing it does, but it doesn't happen very often in the UFC where you say, I am building this as a show for this culture of people. These athletes from this country, we are going to highlight them. We are going to let them shine. That comes with a little bit of extra weight to carry, a little more motivation. I'm looking forward to seeing how these athletes fight. I'm actually looking forward to seeing how every athlete on the card fights, knowing that everybody wanted on the card. They all begged for it, Chill. Well, you got your opportunity. It's time to go out and put on a show. One guy that we know has put on a show constantly over the course of his career, and now it seems like the show's getting bigger and bigger. Chill, Merab Dvalishvili. Merab Dvalishvili a few weeks ago got a cut. Dana White was on him for the cut. Now, he's doing more. He's upping the ante. He's drinking. He's messing around as if he's not on the verge of the biggest fight of his career. Dana White said a couple weeks ago, at this point, he's just messing with me. Is Merab messing with Dana White, Chill? Or is Merab Dvalishvili trying to mess with Sean O'Malley?
There is few people who have done a better job on social media of engaging the fans and creating headlines out of their own social media. Whether it's baffling, interesting, provocative, Merab is right up there, man. This guy has done such great work. And I do wonder at times how much is storytelling and how much is authentic. By example, I could sit and watch Merab dance all day. If he ever posts a video of him dancing, I am watching. It's just an entertaining style of dance. The dance style that Valentina will do after a fight, or even Stipe Miocic will do after a fight. It's that kind of style to an interesting beat and music. It's not like metal. And there's just something very, very simple and very homey about it. Now, I only tell you that because I saw him taking shots and then doing his dance. And I wondered, were those actually shots? I think they were. Now, everyone's going to let their hair down at some point. I just know it's not a great visual when you see the guy do that and you know a fight is coming up. So there was a couple of things there that were a little bit touch and go, but I do believe that Merab is very serious and very focused. And if this is his normal approach, if that is what he normally does, I gotta give him his space. He knows what he's doing.
Chael, let me say, we've had some moments on this show, but I don't know if I enjoyed anything more than seeing you go back to the University of Oregon and go metal. I mean, it ain't metal. I was like, whoa, wow, that was cool, Chael. Chael, listen, I get it, but how in the world, and this is, you should be able to relate to this, right? Merab Dvalishvili's fighting style is not as appealing to the general public as Sean O'Malley's. You had a fighting style where it was rooted in wrestling, take people down, grind them out, hold them down, beat them up on the mat. Not as appealing as an Anderson Silva, but by talking, you made yourself as viable in that rivalry as Anderson. You were as important as he was. Merab's doing the same thing. He has that same fighting style, but by all the antics on social media, honestly, I think we're talking more about Merab, Chael, than we are Sean O'Malley at this point. So he's clearly doing something right.
And I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. I mean, O'Malley is the hardest working active fighter outside of the octagon that the sport currently has. And frankly, I got to put Belal Muhammad almost tied with that same category. But the reason I say that, Sean is the main event. So whoever gets in the passenger seat, now they get to be main event. They get to be on the one and only first ever Spear card. And generally, I mean, I could go back rivalry after rivalry, Daniel, they didn't carry their weight. They did not get up and go and do the PR and the marketing. They focused on the fight and they buckled down. And that's all really good stuff. And it's helpful from a competitive standpoint. But if you're O'Malley, you are looking across and going, hey, guy that I don't like and I plan to beat up, you're also my partner. And there's expectations that you need to do. Most guys don't do it. I got to give it to Merab. I mean, Merab really has stepped up. He has made himself main event worthy and quality and an entertainer. I appreciate it. I tend to think that O'Malley does as well.
That was one of my biggest issues when I was champion. I always hoped, say something, do something that's going to make people want to watch this thing. because ultimately, you and I are going to line our pockets together. Right now, Merab Dwalishvili is doing a good job of helping in that production. But when I look at him and I look at him drinking, I don't think he was drinking, first off. Like, I think he probably was messing around, probably water. I mean, I did it to Chris Pendleton. Oh, my God, I've got a great story for you, Chill. With Chris Pendleton, it was water. It's just the greatest story. And I will tell it to you at the end of the show when we're talking wrestling. But just please remind me because my mind does slip.
Guaranteed, I won't forget.
But then, so Merab's not drinking, I don't think. I think he's more serious than that. I think he knows what's at his doorstep. Now, that made me wonder, Chael, like, what about when you were 2 weeks out? Like, what were your thoughts and how were you feeling 2 weeks ahead of a title fight? Because I got to be honest with you. For me, when it got down to, like, you have the last week of training, then you have the week of the fight, which is very, very cut back. You're really focusing on weight and just preparing yourself to get into a battle on Saturday night. That week before, I was kind of a mess. I was so locked in that I didn't have time to have fun like Merab seems to be doing.
And Daniel, by the way, and I'll speak for you, you wouldn't have had the energy to go and do that. I wouldn't have the energy to go and do a dance routine and be on top of tables and making videos. You know, we were cutting a lot of weight on top of that. I think Merab has to cut a significant amount of weight to make 135. Yeah. I mean, that is just not the behavior of somebody that does, which is also a reason. I think that might have been an old video and he pulled it out for fun or at a minimum, to your point, that it was water. But I only suggest that because, yeah, man, you're scared, you're nervous, things are coming in, and then all of a sudden your body always starts feeling bad. Like, I'll give an example to the viewer. If you ever have a car and you're thinking of trading in and getting a new car, the car that you have right then, everything will go wrong with it. Now, the truth is, nothing more went wrong with it. You just are sensitive and you know it because you want to trade it in and you're trying to justify this new car. But your body starts feeling this to everything. Everything starts bothering you, right? Like you got all these games come, okay, I need to rest and recover. Can I do this while getting the weight off? It's just one of these high pressure situations. One thing about this fight, by the way, this fight got a line posted from the odds makers in Vegas the night of 299. That was, to remind you, O'Malley versus Chito Vera. And it was a 2-1 favorite for Merab. We knew that Merab was going to draw into whoever won. And I believe that that line was set arbitrarily before the fight, if it was Chito or if it was Sean, because I don't believe they took that fight against Chito into consideration when they made a line 2-1. It is the best that Sean has ever looked. He didn't lose a single round. He didn't lose a single position. He didn't lose the punch and the kick and the wrestling. He didn't lose the conditioning, the IQ, the heart, the grit. He won it all. And by the way, partner, they are now, right now, dead even. Plus 114 to minus 114. That is a dead even fight that was at one point a 2-1.
That's why this fight is going to be so good, man. Chill. I cannot wait for next week. But at the end of those training camps, the relief I would feel when I could at least walk, knowing that I was getting the fight, boy, it was the best. It was absolutely the best, just getting through those camps and knowing that you were able to manage the risk while preparing yourself to get to the event. Unbelievable. So, Alex Pereira, he just likes to fight, Chill. The dude just likes to fight. He wants to fight everybody. He wants to fight at heavyweight. He wants to fight at light heavyweight. And now he's saying he can fight at 185 again. But he's almost being bullish in his idea that he wants to go down and challenge DDP for the championship. Do you agree with this? Because if I'm being honest, I don't think he needs to go back down there. I don't think he needs to. Do you agree?
Well, perception is everything in life, but in this sport, it's very clear that bigger is better. The heavyweights are better than anybody else, and the in-between, I mean, that is just the perception. Like, if you're seeking a championship and you could have it at 205 pounds, 185 is beneath you. And not to mention, DDP could have laughed this off and said, wait a minute, you're telling me the guy that got knocked out by the guy I just finished in the third round is threatening to come back to a division that he already ran away from? Come on down. I mean, because no, this is never going to happen. Alex was not sincere. Now, he is sincerely tough and he will fight anybody, but he can't make 185 pounds. He doesn't want to make 185 pounds. And there's nothing to gain there, by the way. To return and go through that kind of sacrifice, to return to a weight that you've already won, If he wanted to fight Dricus could come up, but make sure you don't miss the play here. Like, Alex is tough and he will fight anybody, but the play here was a final nail in the coffin of his rivalry with Adesanya. This was a big brother play. This was to be condescending. This was to say, you couldn't deal. Hey, big brother's got your back. Big brother's got you. That was the actual move, and I think it worked.
You know what, Chael? I never thought of that. Honestly, I never thought of that. But I just think that he can make 185. I just don't know why. Like, when you've already won the belt, when you've gone up and you've conquered another weight class, hey, as much as we all loved him at 185, the amount of eyes that he is bringing to 205, the amount of love that he's getting from the world being the light heavyweight champion, I don't know what it benefits him to go back down. He's going to be depleted in terms of his weight management. He's going to kill himself to get down there. Then he's got to deal with Dricus. It's not like Dricus is not a hard fight. Dude, it's amazing to watch this dude fight the way he fights and beat everybody. And then he does weird stuff afterwards. The day after the fight, he beat Adesanya. I see him in them little small bathing suit, like a Speedo, eating cake, man. Like, what are you doing eating cake in a Speedo, Dricus? Like, this dude is messing with us. Merab's not messing with us. Dricus is. He's in a Speedo eating birthday cake with all of his friends. I'm like, come on, man. Why does Pereira want to cut all that weight, then go deal with that guy? That guy is nothing to be played with. Chael, I look at him, and I wonder about this with Alex, right? How does he deal with a guy like DDP, who is really so unconventional, but then he can also wrestle, and he must be unbelievably strong to beat guys the way that he beats them? I think that the weight cut, the lack of, because it won't show now for Pereira. It won't show now because he's still as heavy as he always is. He feels good. That lack of motivation to go back down to 185 won't show itself until he's around 205 and going, I've still got 20 pounds to lose. Why am I doing this? I wonder how all of that would affect him going into a fight with a guy in DDP who's as good as anyone in the world.
Yeah, most certainly. Most certainly. I really think that DDP could have played this different. I mean, first off, if I'm DDP, I do make the comment about, you're telling me a guy that ran out of this division because he got knocked out and lost the belt, the very one that I have right now, is going to come back. Ooh, I think he could have played a little bit more of that. But he also and ultimately should have accepted. He should have accepted right there and said, and just so you understand, you're a good friend, because now Alex and Sean Strickland, they're good buddies and they train together. He should have said, you're a good friend who's sitting over there waiting for this opportunity. You just took it from him. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to wait for you. You get your business done with Roundtree. I won't negotiate. I won't talk. I'm waiting for you. I mean, eventually, UFC's either going to have to say this is a pipe dream, or Alex is going to have to flinch, which was the only game of chicken they were playing anyway. DDP couldn't control himself. He had to look. It's like when Conor calls somebody out, even the guy that knows he will never get the fight has to come to the media and bend the knee. They can't control themselves to just try to kind of keep that hope alive. And DDP said, I'll do the fight, but we'll do it at 205 for your belt, which is another thing that will never happen. It was a psychological play. It was a psychological chess move. DDP missed it. Had he got it right, he would have accepted the fight.
Yeah, I understand. You know, I understand. And that's what happens, right? You get excited. Dricus du Plessis got excited because he might also see a matchup that he feels he can win against Alex Pereira. But again, we can't question the light heavyweight champion for all that he has done and for what he's been in the UFC. But I just truly believe that the problem would come when you still got to cut all that weight. And the only reason, Chael, I was able to go to 205 after fighting at heavyweight was because I didn't want to fight Kane, and I had never been a champion. If I had already been the champion, I don't know if I would have sucked off all that weight to go down and fight at 205 just because I wanted to do it. I needed to go and become a champion. That's what motivated me.
And Daniel, I feel like I got a really good idea if I was to roll around with DDP. I feel like I got a really good idea of what I would feel. Very standard, very good skills, but I feel as though I've seen those skills somewhere before. I would love to roll, as the kids say, do a session with Alex just to feel it, because there's something different about him. He is rewriting what we learned starting back in 1993, that grappling is the best base and you build from there. He is rewriting that book. And I want to know, is he super strong? Is he hard to deal with? Is he long and awkward? Where's his leverage? Why is he hard to keep down? I had this opportunity and I blew it. I ran in, I was at the PI. I'm talking with Latifi. Latifi's about to get a workout. I look over, he's going to work out with Chimaev. And I should have taken and I almost did it. Just take my shoes off. Hey, let's get on the mat, but give me 5 minutes just so I can feel. I want to feel, and then I could come and, kind of report on it. And I missed that opportunity. If I could go back, I would have done it. Even in my street clothes, I was there for a meeting with Dana. I had to show up to the meeting all sweaty and dirty if I had to. I should have got those 5 minutes in because there's something different with some of these greats. And Pereira is truly the most cutting edge guy. He's the Satia of MMA, at least for right now.
You know what's crazy? I like watching him because when he's getting mounted. I saw him in the mount against, I think it was not Prohaska. It was Yamahovich. He was holding his wrist, just holding his wrist and pulling him down. I told you last time, it's the anti-grappling. He doesn't even engage you in grappling, so you don't have any opportunity to submit him. It's very, very smart what they're doing out there with Alex Pereira, and it's working for him. Joe, we got a big welterweight fight this weekend as Gilbert Burns takes on, Jesus Christ.
What?
Brady.
Wow, he's back.
Shut up. You're so stupid. Shut up. Chill.
Armageddon is back.
Weekend. Chill, shut up. We have a big fight this weekend as Gilbert Burns takes on Sean Brady. And you know what's kind of messed up about that? I could not remember Sean Brady, and I keep slipping. One time, Chael, I interview him as I'm walking out of the octagon, and I'm trying to go, all right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Sean Brady. I forgot. I know who Sean Brady is. I love Sean Brady. He's a great guy. He's a tremendous fighter. And I forgot. Right now, he gets an opportunity, though, this weekend. Last time, Chael, that Sean Brady had a big chance to fight one of the best in the world. It was against Bilal Muhammad, and he fought him in Abu Dhabi, and it did not go his way. He says now, though, that in his second chance, because now he gets another opportunity at one of the guys that have long reign at the top of the division because he just submitted Kelvin Gastelum. He says he's ready to get it done, but he faces a tough Gilbert Burns, who's been struggling as of late. What do you see happening this weekend between these two great welterweights?
Gilbert Burns is amongst the most elite competitors. He will bring his skills. He will not back down, and you won't change his mind partway through the fight. You can cut his eye open. You can try to tire him out. He is going to fight you for every minute. And I only bring that because Sean Brady does have that one slip. I got no problem with him losing on an undercard fight to the guy that turned out to be the best in the world. I don't have a problem with that. But I'm very familiar with Sean Brady, and he underperformed. That was not his best version of himself. Those were not his best skills, and he spoke about that. He said he knew for the first time ever, and it was getting into his head, and it was just one of these really spots that he had a hard time overcoming. A lot of times you have those, and you never revisit it. You hear that voice, you get used to it, you get used to closing the door on him. I just offer for you, from a competitive standpoint, you're not going to top Gilbert Burns out of trying to beat you ever. And I think that's a very hard fight. Hey, you want to talk about how good Sean Brady was? I tuned in and watched a grappling event, and this smaller, covered in tattoo MMA guy gets fed to the ultimate wolf, Craig Jones. This smaller tattooed MMA guy turned out to be Sean Brady. He beat Craig Jones, just to let you know. I mean, we want to talk about how great he is, or you're wondering how he's out there submitting people. Sean Brady is as high level as it gets.
You know what's the best thing about this matchup, and as you say about this Craig Jones jiu-jitsu fight with Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns is known for his jiu-jitsu, but he has developed to the point that we don't even speak about it anymore. He has gotten so good at striking that you forget that he's a multiple-time world champion. He's one of the best grapplers in the welterweight division and in the entire UFC. But in this fight, I feel he's going to be forced to stand again. And he's going to have to be okay standing with the guy in Sean Brady who is improving time and time again. This fight is a big fight for both guys, but I believe, Chael, that this fight is more important for Brady because Brady has now just beaten Kelvin Gastelum. He is 2 fights removed from fighting the guy that's the champion right now in a weight class where you have pretty identified challengers. You have Shavkat, you have Ian Gary on the short list. Bilal's talking Kamaru Usman back into the championship picture. There's a short list of guys that are very close. If Sean Brady can win this fight this weekend, put one more behind it, everything starts to kind of clear up, and he might find himself fighting against Bilal Muhammad because there's a story. Because he said, I got beat, but I didn't fall. He was hitting me on the side of the octagon, but I was still up. I wasn't out. I could have kept going, and he's got to just beat that drum. So the importance of this fight, while it is important for both, it really is for Sean Brady to go out there and try to make a statement to show that he's one of the best welterweights in the world. Yeah. That's going to be very difficult, though, because DC, as you said, Gilbert Burns is the man.
DC, if I can just add to what you said, I mean, I really hope that Gilbert Burns watches this. He comments to us often on social media, but this is important what you just said. He needs to hear that advice you gave, because if he beats Sean Brady, it is not a built-in mechanism that all of a sudden he's in the conversation for a title fight, but it should be. Sean Brady is that good that a win over him should mean that. And I couldn't justify that Gilbert would go in and he'd fight Muhammad, but I could justify very easily that he gets to be in the backup position for Muhammad versus whoever his next opponent is, which looks like it's either going to be Shavkat or Kamaru Usman. And I might add for you, Gilbert Burns, Kamaru Usman, and Shavkat all trained in the same room for a meaningful amount of time. Nobody's opened their mouth to tell us how those workouts went, but I, for one, would be very curious.
I'd be very curious to see how those workouts went, and I would be very curious to see what happens this weekend in regards to their importance in the welterweight division right now. So, Chill, you and I love wrestling. Dude, guess what happened last weekend?
Tell me.
A kid that I trained for a really long time, he's a senior on my wrestling team now, got a world silver medal. That is my second world medalist, because Cody Merrill got third in the world a few years ago. Isaiah Cortez, the other day, got a world silver medal in Greco-Roman wrestling, Chill. Your style, I was so proud. And look, you know what happened, Chill? I got this guy named German Doyev. He's a Russian guy from Ossetia. He moved to the United States, wants to fight at AKA. I have dorms in my academy. I let him stay there. Chill. He now takes that kid and he teaches him Greco-Roman. Chill, they're doing moves that I don't even know how to teach. So I can't take credit for this medal. All I can take credit for is giving them a place to train and training this kid when he was a kid. But right now, in collegiate and freestyle. But in Greco, dude, German and them did such a great job. And these kids are pros. Chill. Unbelievable to watch. And dude, we had 3 Greco medals in the U20 World Championship.
And Daniel, let me really congratulate you on that. I did not know that Isaiah was with you. And feel free to take some of that credit, because you did create that environment. That is a tremendous deal. And you were one of the few guys who was a top freestyle guy that is open to Greco-Roman. A lot of guys, they don't want to do it, or they say it doesn't prepare you for the NCAA. Wrestling is wrestling. You're one of those coaches that knows and supports that. Congratulations to Isaiah, and congratulations to you on the medal.
It was so awesome to see.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you wrapping up? You owe me a story. You owe me a Chris Pendleton story.
I will give it to you, but one more point on it. Hey, the city of Gilroy, too, Chael, you know what was cool? It made me be able to tell my team. So they took on the school. At the front of these schools, they have these LED boards. And it put, as the kids walked on the campus, good luck, Isaiah Cortez, Wrestling World Finals this morning. That is a sick thing for the school to do for the kids. And so then I can send my kids, all my group, my kids wrestle. I go, hey guys, just remember today, one of your brothers tries to become a world champion. It lets you tell these kids, Shell, anything is possible. Even in a small town like Gilroy, the town supporting wrestling at that level lets these kids know that anything is possible is awesome. Now, I'll get to the Pendleton story. So, you and I, Chill, it's the best. It is the best. I can't believe I'm going to tell this story.
Can I set this up for our audience real fast? Chris Pendleton, current head coach of Oregon State, 2-time champion. But when Chris Pendleton won both championships, he defeated Ben Askren in the finals. I think our audience would like that. Go ahead, DC.
Yes, and I was on a team with Chris Pendleton at Oklahoma State. So you and I used to work at a company called Fox Sports. They recorded this. So you can see this match on YouTube. If you just go back to Daniel Cormier's last wrestling match. Here's the kicker to Chill. The night before the wrestling match, we were actually at a club in Las Vegas called at the Paris Hotel. I don't know the name of the club anymore. And we're having a party. And I mean, Chris Pendleton is just this wide-eyed young kid from Arizona State. He's still on the national team. He is around all his favorite fighters. Luke's there. Kane's there. I mean, Henry Cejudo, all of his favorite fighters, all these guys that he just loves is there. So then they start to drink. I know that Chris is still on the U.S. national team. I don't know if I can beat this dude tomorrow. If there's going to be 1,000 people at this UFC Fan Expo, 10,000 people. Chael, they start to kick back shots. I tell the waiter, make sure when you bring mine, it is water. Jail. Jail. But think about this. He's a pure wrestler. You know, going to Vegas as a wrestler is much different than going to Vegas as a fighter. As a fighter, I mean, their bottles, everything is just crazy. Chael, the whole night, they feed him shots. He's hanging out with all his favorite fighters. Chael, Jamil Kelly walked him to the mat as he was puking the entire time. He would get up, he would try to warm up, he would puke. He would get up, he would try to puke, until eventually he got to the mat, Chael, and he wrestled me. And I was feeling good, Chael. I was in the corner heavier than him. I'm bouncing. I'm ready to kick his ass because I know what he went through the night before. His poor girlfriend at the time, Chael, got wheeled out in a wheelchair. It was bad because they just couldn't handle it. And Chael, that's how I won my last wrestling match of all time, because Pendleton, who still holds this against me, and today he's going to really hate me for it, is because I got him all messed up because I knew I couldn't beat him. You know, Chael, at times you can't beat somebody. I didn't want to lose to my little brother in front of all those people. And this dude wrestled me, and immediately they ran back to the bathroom so that he could go and get rid of all the stuff that he had before. And then he got stuck with Chuck Liddell and Jay Glazer, which turned into a whole nother story.
You know what? I remember that match very well. I remember the expo. I remember you took your shoes off and left them, but I remember a score roughly 15-6. And I remember being very surprised. I remember going into that match thinking Daniel's bit off a little more than he can chew because this is an active wrestler. But now I know the rest of the story. And I don't think Coach Pendleton's going to be mad at you for telling that. I think he's going to appreciate that you confessed that you set him up.
I set him up, but I had to. I was selling this shoe. I needed to win if I was going to sell the shoe, Chael. So yes, but Chris Pendleton's doing a tremendous job right now. Awesome. Justin Rodemaker's wrestling for a world championship this weekend, and a guy that you coach yourself. So good luck to you, Coach. Good luck to Chris Pendleton and everybody else. Good luck.
And Chris got a bronze medal in Greco, by the way.
Yep,
Chris's heavyweight got a bronze in Greco, so now he's got a freestyle guy. Chris Pendleton is on fire.
He's on fire. Guys, thank you as always. We will never take your viewership for granted. Chael and I appreciate it from the bottom of our heart. For Chael Sonnen, I'm Daniel Cormier. Until next time, peace.